Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my trading journal. Tonight is Wednesday here in New Zealand, 9:26 p.m. So it's time for me to do an update for the markets and see whether I managed to enter any of the trades that I've kind of observed on Sunday. And to be honest, I had a little bit of I wouldn't call it breakthrough, but just clarity. I have been checking out a couple of new videos that Alex has posted online, and I just realized I've been making a substantial mistake. When I'm looking at the market, what I normally do is I look at weekly, and weekly kind of tells me the direction. Now I can look at this and obviously see that we are bearish. Weekly is bearish, which means weekly is currently going down. I can also see that it's recently bearish, and we have come below this area of interest, and we're going to carry on down, and that was enough to tell me that we are actually heading to the downside. But then I would go to daily and I would look at the same thing and say, okay, so daily is bearish, daily is doing the same thing, is rejecting this area of interest, and then I would just drop to 4-hour and look for an entry signal, which is not all bad, but it's not the right way to do it. So the right way to do it is to spend 90% of the time on daily analysis. So on daily, I'm supposed to look for market structure, maybe a head and shoulders, maybe an engulfing, a rejection of the EMA, a rejection of the area of interest, a trend move. And luckily for NZD USD, we are actually trending bearish. Everything is bearish, all of the time frames from 15 minutes to monthly. So everything being bearish, that's a good thing. That means we will be trading with the trend, which is amazing for me. I mean, that's part of what I have learned. And currently, we are seeing a rejection of this area of interest, and we can see that we have rejected the EMA already. We have come all the way close to it and rejecting the EMA and continuing to go to the downside. I would say at the moment, this candle that is about to close tomorrow in 11 hours and a half, it's signs that we are actually going to continue being bearish. We haven't reached let's say the bottom. Now, what do I know about this area of interest? When I look back and I look at this area of interest and I'm looking at every time that we are below this, what's happening? So let's go a little bit further back. So from here, we're below, we're rejecting, we're continuing, pull back, and continue all the way down. Now, when it's coming from below to this area, also rejecting, then one breakthrough, clean breakthrough right through, and then we come back down under. It's rejected again, rejected. What hasn't quite rejected the area of interest, but it rejected at the same level with the area of interest and rejecting the EMA, and it's gone down. Then it hasn't really held here. We just had a break and a retest with a slight push, and then it managed to go a little bit higher. Of course, it didn't manage, I guess it pushed a little bit higher, a little bit more to the upside, and then it had this massive consolidation and then a big push. Now for me, what would really matter is if I do replay and I go to this point here, what is my market structure? Everything is still bearish, right? But at some point when this next candle is going to form, hopefully it's working because we have issues. Oh man, that went all the way to the top. Okay, so this at this time when this just happened, let me see if I can go select bar, go back to this one. Will it change? Okay, so that was still hasn't closed. Let me go to 0.3 and fire. Bam, come on, give me another one. Take it forever. Okay, cool. So now daily has changed. Daily has changed bullish and 4-hourly has changed bullish. So in theory, according to my trading schedule, I should say rules, we can trade this. If we wanted to, we can actually trade this. as long as daily and 4 hourly, but that would be a counter trend. I would rather not trade if weekly is opposite, especially in the learning phase when I'm learning how to trade and actually see them. I'll probably do this if it was a lot lower rather than so high up. If we're going to 4 hourly, you can actually see all of the markets on this. So it is sitting right so close to weekly. It's just way too close. But the thing that we do know is that this is going to go up further. So if you were to put a trade, you could have potentially put a trade just about this 4 hourly high, and it would have had a decent push for what I trade. If you remember, I do 1 to 0.5, that had the potential to do that, and it went kind of clean, until that point there. And at that point there, we have a doji and we have an engulfing, but that's a boring little engulfing. It's not big enough to do anything. But anyway, that's what it did. And then from here, it's going to go down while everything else is still bullish. So it's going to be a pullback that's going to change the market structure. That is too slow. Okay, 0.5. Okay, so now is actually going a little bit further. Hasn't really changed anything. Let me just go to daily. All right, on daily, you can see that's closed engulfing. So what I would normally do is, because that's how I trade, I would wait for that to do another retest of the area of interest that's just been rejected, and then I would take a trade. But yeah, the biggest lesson for me was that daily is king when it comes to my style of trading, and not the 4 hourly as much. 4 hourly would be pretty much just to take the actual entry and look for the entry signal. So I would say it is a big breakthrough for me, at least from that point of view. And right now we are below this area of interest, so we are rejecting it. Now, looking at daily and looking at a higher time frame, I can understand that weekly has got the potential to push all the way down to this trend line. It has got the potential. Now this trend line aligns with this area of interest, which is really interesting because it kind of highlights the fact that it is possible that we're going to go all the way here to reject this area of interest. Now the area of interest is outside our leg, so it doesn't really matter to me, but if I was to trade a continuation, it would be to this area of interest, which is the next, basically, a reaction point. But yeah, that was the biggest learning for me this week, and I haven't really done quite that. And what happened was I was really looking for an entry signal as quickly as that daily has had or has reached the area of interest, which means is when you go to here, for example, we can see we've been through, we come back down and retested this very next candle. That's when I would have go to 4 hourly and look for an entry signal. Pardon me, just go dig it a little bit now. So this is what would have been through. So what I would have done normally, I would have looked for a position to sell roughly here. So I would have looked for an engulfing. So that was not engulfing here. I would have probably entered there, right there. That's the reality. If to my knowledge to date, that's what I would have looked for a break and a retest. But it's clear to me, and so break and retest at the 4 hourly. Now, ideally would be to wait for daily to do a retest and then enter. So it's not that it's ideally, is how it should be. If I want to actually start being profitable and seeing bigger moves and more clean moves, that is the secret to me anyway so far. Maybe we're gonna have another breakthrough soon. But yeah, the thing is, I'm doing this to try and prove that trading can change my life. Well, it's a question. Well, is trading can trading change my life? So with this, I think I'm a step closer to prove that, and it is a big, let's say, breakthrough for me, at least understanding this clearer. Right now, if I was to enter there and not even reach my 1 to 1 or 1 to 1, probably would have reached 1 to 0.5. And I guess this is why I have developed that idea with 1 to 0.5, because if you do get it wrong, which I was always getting it wrong with this strategy that I was using, wait for daily to reach the area of interest and then for hourly to find the signal, which is not good. But on the other side, I can see this here pretty nice, because if you look at it, I had this consolidation here and then a big push. So when this actually closed, that would have been pretty nice entry signal. That should have been right there. And that would have been early. And that would have given us a 1 to 1.2. That would have been really cool. Anyway, off the point. So yeah, that's what I normally do. I just wait for daily to reach the area of interest, and then I'll drop to 4 hourly straight away and try and find an entry signal. And the reality is, all of this noise that's happening now, I was not avoiding, because I was kind of trying to find my entry at the 4 hourly. Now it may happen on some of the trades anyway, but the reality is it's not a good move if it does happen here. It won't have as much potential as it could have if you're finding the actual entry point on daily. So right now, if we're going back to daily here, daily is daily has broken below and come back up to retest. Man, I hate that. Go away. And you go away. It's come back up to retest. It hasn't really rejected the EMA, even though it's gone close. But then it had another push, and that to me indicates two things. One, that the EMA has been tested, and two, the liquidity has been grabbed. I mean, if everybody trades kind of similarly, I would have had a stop loss around about there. So let's just visit 4 hourly again. So 4 hourly, you saw, let me see if I can go back, get this back there, and now go to 4 hourly. So that was my stop loss right there. And you can see how that has just taken my money. Not that I was in a trade, but if I did enter, that would have just waked me up. And then it's going to continue going to the downside. Now, what I see happening is this having a slow grind down, which is fine. The best thing is that is rejecting the EMA and the area of interest at the same time on a 4 hourly, and on daily is also rejected that EMA and rejecting this area of interest and going to the downside. Now this candle here is engulfing currently, which is really cool. We'll see what that's going to be like when it closes tomorrow. However, tomorrow is Thursday. That's another adjustment I need to do, understand what actually happens with holding over the weekend, and does it really matter if I hold? Is it better to hold sell? Is it better to hold buy over the weekend? Yeah, but anyway, to me this is a good understanding and a good lesson, and I guess I'm gonna start looking at it from a different angle, and hopefully I can pick up just better opportunities for trading. So right now for this particular trade here, I'm expecting to see a push to the downside. I can delete that. I'm expecting this to go down, and I would, at this point, after that liquidity grab, I would be dropping at 4 hourly to look for an entry signal. And if I was to look at this now, I would say that this would be the entry signal, but it does not look as nice. It's not quite engulfing, so I would look at dropping to a lower time frame. And again, not really a clean entry signal. Now, for me personally, when I would see something like this, I would just not trade. But everything is in our favor from a trend point of view. I mean, look at this here. Absolutely everything is red. What that tells me, when it's red, everything is going down at the moment. All of the candle colors is red. All of the market structure is bearish. All of the EMA location is in the favor of a sell. So that's pretty amazing. And also on top of everything else, you can't quite see the technicals on the right bottom side of TradingView is a strong sell. So I have so many confluences already that indicates that this is gonna go down further than it has. So just dropping back to 4 hourly. That's what I've marked this trade to go on Sunday, and it is currently making a move. Let me just see, when was Sunday? Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, from here. So it did move since Sunday. Of course, we had a couple of candles. It is Wednesday night today, so yeah, I shifted it once for whatever reason. I'm not too sure, but that would have been here. Unless I need to check the video. I think I may have said that this is going to break below and then come back up to retest and then we enter. But the good news is that's what I've marked it. So, you know, in the future when this trade is to line up, is exactly the same thing that I'm going to apply. And yes, I'm not in with real money on this one. It does matter. I did say to myself that I was going to take all the trades with a small amount of money, and I haven't done that. I feel that this is not tidy enough. Now, if you're looking at something there that I can't really see apart from this engulfing here, and then a retest, and then engulfing again, but very, very, very small engulfing, which does not fill me up with confidence. If you see something else, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I would love to learn more. But yeah, that's NZD USD. I'm gonna try and go through the other ones just much more quicker. We've of course done the market analysis on Sunday, but I would like to see whether there is anything different than what we've seen. Sorry, I'm thirsty. This is 007 Coke. I don't know if they sell that in the country that you're from, but it has no caffeine and no sugar. Interesting, but a very good taste, by the way. All right, so just let's look at the next one. NZD CAD. Let's drop to daily. Okay, let's see what's happening here with a fresh memory, what we're looking like. All right, so I can definitely see that weekly and daily both are bullish. Now this massive leg is the last bullish leg. We had a pullback, rejection of the EMA, a retest. So basically we formed what I would call a double bottom. So we've come down, we rejected and come back and retested it. So this is phenomenal to trade because that indicates that it has obviously encountered so much resistance at that area of interest, daily area of interest, and possibly weekly, that is going up, and it is done just that, and currently is consolidating. But I would like to see here a break above this area of interest and a continuation. So it's possible that this red candle that's happening now is going to go a bit much lower, reach this EMA, reject it again, and then suck itself all the way up into, what are we now? Let's see, 4 hourly. 4 hourly and daily. So it is possible for this to reach where? This black line, trend line, what is it? Trend line. Okay, so just above the trend line. Pretty much there. Let's see. 4 hourly. Okay, so it is possible that we're going to see 4 hourly come all the way down to about here and then have a pullback. Now this ginormous candle that happened here, what it indicates to me that the market had an expansion. So the market originally was kind of sitting at about here, and then he had a big push, which is not too bad because it actually did exactly what's happening here, but just above. So it's still close to the balance point. And it's now, you know, finding itself, you know, kind of create a better price action, not price action, a better price for this pair. Right now it's sitting in the middle of weekly leg, so being in the middle of weekly leg can be a little bit annoying because it does exactly this, which I call is gibberish, and you wouldn't really know what the heck is gonna do until it kind of does it. Now looking at this here, this is engulfing. I would have taken the bite and entered after this closed engulfing, because I would have said, oh look, this liquidity grab rejecting the EMA and we're gonna go up, but then look at it, it's coming back down to check that EMA again, which kind of suck. But just going back to daily, I would expect daily to still do this, come back up and reject. Now because I didn't enter and the market hasn't really given us the opportunity, if we watch now, this can actually come down and retest this area of interest, or break up above and come back and retest to enter, and that would be my trade. I would definitely take that trade if it does this, but for now I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. We're just gonna watch it and learn. I'm actually gonna put a note so we know, wait for break and retest before looking for an entry, on 4H. Okay, now if I misspell anything, please stay with me. I'm still adjusting to English, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna do here. We're just gonna wait for this to do its thing and either give us a break and a retest, or break and retest from below. I would say, based on the market, on the trend, I would say that it's gonna go up again, but it may just have another pullback before it does so. It might just go down again to that trend line, the black one. It might just go to this before it would have a push, and that would kind of make sense, because that would put you back into daily high low, much better price for the continuation, and also wicking ginormous liquidity that's been formed at this level with this consolidation. Anyway, we'll move on to next one, which is AUD/USD. So AUD/USD, looking at it from a daily perspective, I can clearly see what I said here is going to happen on Sunday, and because I was really, let's say, not paying correct attention, I got fooled thinking, you know, what it's going to do. Now, this is still valid. This is still valid because both daily and weekly is bearish. But what the market said to me, said, hey, Ricky, we are not ready for a continuation. We still need to pull back a little bit further, take some more liquidity, get some fuel, and then we're going to head down. So it's clear to me at this point that the market has not yet decided to finish pulling. But I don't know, this right here is so weak. I would say that this is going to push, it's going to have a higher pullback, especially after this expansion. There's enough space there that has not been actually even touched by these wicks, so it's possible that this is going to do another push to the upside, reject this EMA, and then we can use this area of interest there to enter rather than the other way. But we'll see. Again, same thing, we just keep an eye on it. But just going back to 4 hourly, just for the kind of make it easier to understand what I was doing wrong, because you go to the 4 hourly and this is what I marked here. I say, oh, okay, so this is coming down, it's going to reject and go down, but it did exactly not that. So, you know, it's like, I'm grateful that Alex posted that video and I looked at it, and it just made so much sense. And I honestly wish I was able to be part of his Sunday Swings class and just expose yourself to successful people, and then you become one of them. But unfortunately, that fee is just a little bit high at the moment. I have a lot of expenses going out, but I'm really working hard to get to there and just learn a little bit more, because, you know, the only way to make this happen faster is through networking, I believe. Doing it on your own without a team, it's not easy, because it's just one brain, one thing, and whatever I see that is wrong, there's nobody to check it against. You know, it's just me. I see it. Even if I see it and it's wrong, I would think that is what it is. You know, it's good, but there's nobody there to say, no, Ricky, that's actually wrong. So I'm learning by trial and error, and keep looking at it, keep looking at it. One day, another day, mark trades, take trades, demo trades, actual money, lose money, win money, and have like a constant grind of success and losses. And eventually you will start understanding the language of trading and become profitable. And you know, I really hope that I'm gonna get to the day that I'm gonna say, guys, I freaking did it. We can look back now, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and yeah, this is what it took. Yeah, I'm really excited for the year to kind of conclude and see what, you know, where I'm at with the understanding of trading and what I've managed to do. I was really hoping that I can make at least enough money to get to Alex's networking group, but it didn't happen yet. I'm still at 500 bucks. Alrighty, so yeah, this one we're just gonna wait and see. I think that's gonna do a pullback anyway, pullback further up here before it's gonna carry on down. But this is a little bit messy. You can see some of the candles are actually bearish, some of them are bullish, which means they basically very small candles, like almost like dojis. When they are like this, it means, you know, it's the distance from the top to the bottom very small. So the candles at those time frames, they're going up and down at the break point. So they're not red, they're not blue, or they just stay red for a little bit and then they go back blue. That's why they do not quite line up. But you will see sometimes when you're looking at the pair, you see how this one is minus 0.07% change. That's good. So that indicates that this pair has actually gone down bearish. But yeah, it's a few confluences that would really stack up in order for us to be able to take a trade and for me to obviously understand what the heck I'm doing. But again, I just observed this here. Look, full engulfing daily at the top of the chart. Short wick, continuation had a massive push to the downside. That was ginormous. If you enter and taken that trade, look at that. This was a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's just amazing. But yeah, it was one of those things that I didn't really look at because, of course, I didn't know about the daily. I mean, I knew about it. I just didn't appreciate the power of daily. Anyway, next one, GBP AUD. Daily is saying, hey, we are bullish. We are fully bullish and we are obviously, everything aligns. And going back to weekly to kind of understand how far this could go. Oh, okay. Well, this has kind of had a big push to the downside. We are sitting at about this level where everything was pretty balanced, and then we had the push to the upside, bullish, and then we changed, we came back down, and it is possible that we're going to see another bullish push. It is possible. Looking at this chart here behind my video, which you can't quite see, is actually forming a stable sideways movement. A range, I would say, but yeah, it's hard to really see it until you see it. The best thing about this to me is that we have got this engulfing, and this has almost engulfed the two, but it hasn't quite. And then we had the push to the downside. Excuse me. Again, a long day today work-wise, but I'm home now. I need to focus on this. So yeah, we had the pullback, and now it's coming back up on weekly. So I would definitely think this this is just a pullback. It's gonna have a continuation to the upside. Now, in order for us to see that, I would wait for daily to retest this area of interest, which is kind of what's happening now. Let me get this. This is what we said is gonna happen. And possibly this area of interest can be adjusted a little bit to be a little bit higher. And this pullback is actually retesting that and also rejecting the EMA, which is really, really nice. Let me just get rid of these candles. So daily. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, nice. Okay, that's gonna take forever. Maybe there. How wide are we? 31. Okay, this can be a tiny little bit bigger. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, 5 touches, and this gibberish action on it. So this is a pretty well respected area of interest, and it's exactly what we're doing. So I mean, looking at this trade, I really like it. Daily has reached this area of interest and is rejecting it, but it's possible that we're gonna see. Oh, so sorry, guys. We're gonna see a rejection of this EMA, and then a push to the upside. What's happening here? Ay. Okay, so for hourly, we had the push, a pullback from here. It's gone all the way down, and then we had we had consolidation, really. So we just wait for this to reach all the way back down and give us an engulfing signal at this area of interest, and then we might actually take this trade. So this is GBP AUD. I'm gonna move this first so I can keep an eye on it if it does decide to go. I really like it. Euro AUD. Let me just go to daily because daily is very important. I'm gonna start doing this constantly so we can understand what is going on a little bit better than what we had so far. So now looking at this one, it has a pullback and a rejection of the EMA. This is indicating to me that, hey, Ricky, it's time to adjust your area of interest. Now, this area of interest is good because we are at the top and we have 1, 2 touches. Okay, so I can probably adjust this one. Let me just check. So this is 26. Oh, that's perfect. We can pull this back down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. So we have 4 touches here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, which is very respected area of interest. Now this has come up all the way there and is rejecting, but everything is bullish. So when everything is bullish, you don't just sell. You have to kind of consider the potential of buying this area of interest. Let's see how it would actually look. If it is here, we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So that would be valid. But a little bit dirty. Wow, I'm getting tired again, man. I hate it. When I'm tired, I can't focus. I hate it. But I love it at the same time because at least I get the opportunity to trade when I'm not working. Because when you're working, it's not good. Oh, and the other thing too that I've just learned, Alex is always saying, you have to trade the London session. Now, London session is on now, and the market is moving. But I always had the feeling that the market is moving at the lower time frame because I was looking at the 4 hourly. So 4 hourly is definitely moving a lot at different sessions, but they're just doing stupid shit like the gibberish stuff I was telling you about. So I kind of I learned this week that it is important to not use 4 hourly as much as I used to. I'm just trying to change this music because it's really annoying. Focus music. Now we can relax, have another sip. Oh, shit. It's so sparkly. All right, so I would say looking at this that we're gonna see a push to up here to daily, and mainly because mainly because everything is bullish. Everything is absolutely bullish. But there's some candles. Oh, well, they just changed now to bullish. You just saw it. And the 15-minute is bearish. So that wick there has changed the lower time frame to bearish. But monthly is bearish, and it is not to be avoided. So you see, that's the leg, and we are actually pulling. We are in a pullback phase, which is great. Plenty to trade on a pullback for monthly. So I do like to look at it sometimes because it's good when everything does line up. And in this case, yes, it is bearish, but it is in a pullback, so that's a good thing. So I would say that there's potential here for this to reach a minimum of this area of interest, and possibly if it does break above that, then retests it to go all the way to this point, which will bring us a lot closer to the EMA and have rejection to go back down in a ranging market. But looking at daily has reached the area of interest and it's coming back down and possibly just touching it again to see what it's doing really. Either reject or go right through. So for me at the moment, there's no trade. I like that this is engulfing and is daily. I would have probably or should have entered there. That's a massive area of interest. As in with that, let's see, 4 hourly. So you can see exactly how it would have been wicked out. Absolutely phenomenal. Let me go back. Have I done something wrong? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's just there. Okay. But it doesn't actually matter because I'm actually trading this candle, the engulfing, not the other one. That's what I'm trading. So going back to 4 hourly. Okay, now things has changed. So I would have traded this part here. I should say this part here. But look at that. If I did, that would have basically come so close to wicking me out. I would have been probably depressed by that time, which it's not ideal. Man, I don't know what I'm getting this light on my face from. It's weird. I can see that I look like I had suntan on my face. It's distracting me. Unless it's my eyes because I'm tripping. I'm so tired. Anyway, yeah, that's where this entry would have been based on that engulfing. However, it's obviously not ideal. It's not gonna happen now. So we're gonna have to wait for this to come back much lower and retest and then go up. But it is consolidating heaps right now. And if I'm not wrong, I think this candle is almost engulfing. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, just going back to daily quickly. So we'll just wait for this to either carry on, break and retest and go, and we put that trade, or maybe it's just gonna form a lower head and then just go down. But we'll keep an eye and see. For now, everything tells me that is bullish, but we'll just need to prove that. USD JPY. I'm still holding this trade, guys, on the $3,000 account. Yeah, I really cocked it up, didn't I? But on the hindsight, I do think we're gonna see a push to the downside. I think we have to go as low as that EMA. So this is the second time that I missed the exit. This line right here, this wick, got me almost close to zero. That's what I should have just exited. But I did. So sorry, guys. I didn't exit because I wasn't looking at it, which is sad. But anyway, this has come above this area of interest. It hasn't held. It's come back down, broken below basically, and retesting, which tells me this area of interest could be a little bit off. So we're just gonna get rid of the candles, have a look at it. Oh, that's already the second touch. Okay. How big is this? I don't think we can. Oh, of course we can. It's just 16. So basically this needs to go to there. Yeah, that's it. That's more like it. So right now, what I would wait for is an engulfing at 4 hourly. This is actually pretty nice. 4 hourly. Candles. Okay. So, yeah, this is really cool. See, I hate that this engulfing has had 0 power because I guess it was just not right, or maybe because it was there just before this consolidation. I do not know, but this has gone closer to the top and now it's going down. So it is possible that we're going to see a bigger push to the downside, which is what I originally anticipated. But just going back to my 0.5, look, it would have been right there. Hey, I love this. You have no idea what this means to me. These trades that I see, yes, with engulfing entry, it's just, yes, I didn't take a trade with money and all that stuff, but it is still a trade that I've done the analysis on. I realized that it's going the way it did, and I'm just refining the entry and refining the confluences in order to, finally make it and be successful, So yeah, a trade that was not traded, it's still a good trade for me because the analysis pointed that that's what's going to do, and this is what it did. And in fact, this could have given us a 1 to 0.76, which is great, because what I wanted to do, if you remember, I wanted to try with $100 out of my account because I have 5. I wanted to try to keep getting the account not double, half double every trade, and I was planning to take 1 trade a week. And what that meant is if I was to be successful for 15 times, I would have reached 100 grand, and by that time I would have been able to adjust my risk to reward in order to be more sustainable and more stable, so I don't risk as much from my account. But I was basically planning to enter with $100 to make 50, and then enter with 150 to make 75, and then enter with 225 to make 50% of it, 112, and so on. So it would have been about 14 or 15 trades, I think, to do it, and I was chasing all of these engulfing. But you see here, engulfing at the area of interest, it did fuck all, which is ginormous. And same, this one here actually good. This happened and he had a push. This happened and he had a push. This happened and he had a push. Very, very small push. This happened and it was no push. It was like stupid. Dead in the water. Because I would have only entered after that happened. So that would have had nothing. Then engulfing. No, this was not engulfing. Engulfing had a push. Engulfing had nothing, no push. And worse than anything, this engulfing is at the right place, but it just didn't do it. But this engulfing, it's a different thing. This engulfing, again, at the area of interest, but it didn't really do much. But the reality is it did have a push. So if I was to trade this, I would have traded it with probably, yeah, I mean, I would have gone to there, but that's just not gonna really be good. And I would have had to, yeah, look at that. See, it would have not given us 1 to 5. It would have been just short. But yeah, anyway, wasting time. It is what it is. I'm happy to say that this is gonna continue. Bearish move, that's standing. So I would say that it is so close to this area of interest that I almost don't believe that we lost it, but it is rejecting the EMA, and we have kind of constantly rejected the EMA. So in case I put that area of interest wrong, I need to wait a little bit longer and see if we're gonna see a retest. That retest is what I'm gonna potentially enter. But we'll keep an eye and see. Next, I can't believe I just moved my marker for my actual trade, which I am minus currently. Minus $600. I hope we can see it. Anyway, it's fake money, so I don't feel too bad. I just want to see, kind of gauge the risk of entering to market with a small account. See, how quickly you could get run down. All right, Euro USD. Quickly moving to the daily. Now, this is, to me, beautiful, because we are now above that weekly and daily area of interest, and we are rejecting it. And I can look in the past and I can see that we're rejecting it with one full candle. Now, for me to be able to trade, that candle needs to close, and it's closing in the next 10 hours. So my thinking is that it's going to close in the next 10 hours, bullish or bearish, and I'm going to be able then to make a decision whether I want to take a short trade to the upside with the bullish move, or wait for daily to change bearish and then trade with the trend rather than counter trend. I do think there's potential for this to go up a little bit more, but it is pretty clear to me that we have had a big push to the downside. But look at this leg. That bullish leg, freaking awesome. So yeah, it's very nice what it is. What can I say? It is pretty good. It's in discount. It really indicates that it's going to push up more. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Not much I can do right now, apart from waiting for this rejection. If I go to the 4 hourly, yeah, it's definitely way too much gibberish, especially being in the middle of weekly. It's just going to be unknown and uncertain. And I hate that it's all these areas of interest in the center here, because they are just consolidation zone, liquidity build up and on and on. When this goes, it's just going to go, and I can actually see right now daily is the only one that is currently bullish. What is going on here? Let me just quickly check this. Okay, so weekly is truly bearish. You see how my indicator just changes the colors willy-nilly. I hate it when it does that. Some pairs, it just doesn't like it, because it kind of calculates it in behind the scene on this bloody what is it, trading view. Makes it a little bit harder. Anyway, 4 hourly bullish. Okay, 4 hourly bearish. Well, 4 hourly is so small, honestly, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is probably gonna be more of a wait and see trade than anything. It's quite in the center of daily and weekly, so it would be consolidating until it's gonna go, but you don't know when it's gonna go. So just keeping an eye is the best thing I can do for now. AUD JPY is going back to daily. Now I said that we're gonna have a bearish continuation, and I can currently see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So this is a very well respected area of interest. However, I can also see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 points right there. So if I was to move this area of interest, it's gonna be right there. This is gonna be right there. So look how narrow this is, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Shit. And it is rejecting those, and it's going to the EMA. But now we are at another area of interest, so that is very interesting, because it is rejecting the EMA. Everything high time frame is bearish. Damn, boy. This is a tough one. Yeah, I would honestly, just bearish. It seems that it has another move. It has another potential to push to the downside, but we'll see. No trade. We'll just keep an eye on it, guys. We'll keep it here. AUD CAD daily is doing exactly the same like AUD JPY. Literally, they look twins. But yeah, same thing here. We'll just wait for this to do its thing. And hopefully find the trade. It is at the top of daily, which is really, really good. It's indicating that's going to go down. But daily is bullish, which means if this does go down, it's going to be a bearish move, right? Let me see if it goes down. Yeah, but it needs to go down way too much, just below here in order to change daily. So either that or we break above, create a new high, and then just go down to create a new high low. Looking at this here, this definitely has another push in it. It's possible that this candle that's closing, it's a daily one, it might just go back up. You know, when before it's closing, go bullish. But for now, we'll just wait and see what it does. It is in a good place, top of daily, possibly weekly as well. Yeah, okay. I do think this has more push in it. Bullish. Daily. Daily, yeah, definitely think that's what's gonna happen. I think this. Okay, let me bring this here. I think this is gonna come down, reject this area, and go back up to form that trend line. All right. Hey, oh, that's no good. I'm falling asleep. They should have had coffee in it. GBP CAD. GBP CAD clearly in a continuation, but weekly is bearish. So weekly being bearish. What is weekly bearish? I think my system is tired as well, because weekly is not bearish. Weekly is bullish. I do not know why it's indicating to me that it isn't. So stupid. Get rid of this trend line. That trend line didn't mean shit. So I don't like it when it doesn't mean anything. But it is what it is. Maybe this does. So when this comes down, if this will make it above that, great. If not, it will stop by the same level, and then it's gonna have a pull back to the either this AOI or down even lower to meet the EMA. To meet the EMA back up here somewhere. So we'll keep an eye on it. I can also see another area of interest right about here. Am I seeing it or am I seeing nothing? 1, 2. Let's see how big this is. 34, yeah. We'll see. It's 34. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 touches, which means that's respected. So we'll see what's gonna happen when we progress with this. It might reject that EMA and go back, sorry, the AOI, and then go back down. That is very, very possible. But we'll just wait and see. Daily. Yeah, definitely we are right there. We are right there in this area of interest. So it might still have a push. It might have a push to go up, maybe. But considering this is engulfing, this was engulfing as well, it's probably indicating that we're gonna see a rejection of the EMA. I originally marked this arrow to go there and come back and retest and go, but it didn't listen to me, so screw it. What's this? GBP USD. This one is just messy. Daily, what are we? Bullish. Yeah, this is bullish currently. Yeah, it is definitely consolidating, and it is rejecting that EMA, which I kind of hate, especially when I'm expecting to see a buy. But doesn't always mean that it's not going to go through. It will definitely go through if it's the right push. GBP JPY. It's rejecting that top. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So there's definitely a valid area of interest. Oh, there you go. I already had it. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Very good. So it's rejecting and it's going down. And daily she says to me, Ricky, look at that. You are engulfing and you are bullish. Everything is bullish and is engulfing. So it kind of looks like it's going to go down, to be honest, rather than up. It's rejecting this area of interest. It's the second head, one top, one touch, rejection and retest, and is engulfing. So if this closes engulfing, the chances are so high that this is going to have a push to the downside, at least as low as this or this. We'll see. Weekly, just checking that it is bullish. It is bullish. Busted. Yeah, so we'll just we'll wait and see. Is this right? Sorry, daily bullish. Bullish. Yeah, the market, according to the market, we're gonna go to the upside. And it is possible. Whoa. Man, I have such a headache. I want to sleep. So honestly, the only thing I can see here happening is for this to break up and retest and then go to the moon. So we're putting this here and we're just gonna sit and forget about it. Just leave it there. Because it's just too soon. And that's the last of it. So yeah, it's a little bit different than what happened on Sunday. If anything, it kind of gives me a little bit more tidiness around the entry because I'm not looking at all of the noise that's happening at a 4 hourly until I really need it. So all of that consolidation at 4 hourly, it's going to show so much cleaner on daily, and it's going to give me a much better understanding of where the market is going to head. So it's a lesson learned for me, and I'm really happy that I did it. Now, just back to grinding, back to looking at the markets and seeing what's what. And hopefully find the right opportunity to answer the question, can trading change my life? So fingers crossed it will. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. And just a reminder, I'm not editing any of the videos. They're raw. I'm not prepared. It's a journal. So be kind. I'm not doing this to teach you guys anything. I'm doing this for myself to record my progression and my learnings. By doing this, I challenge myself to speak better English, understand market structure, keep myself accountable, and hopefully prove the question that I had, prove the answer to the question that I just had before. Can trading change my life? And hopefully we will be able to answer this question sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for watching. If you did stay so long, yeah, if you did, thank you. If you didn't, that's also fine. Hopefully in the coming weeks we're gonna start seeing some more progress with better trades, more money in the account, more understanding, and we'll eventually develop this into a place where you can go and actually see what I've ironed out, what it didn't work, what I was doing wrong, and just see what I'm doing right. So when you decide to go trading, and to not to go trading but to learn trading, you have a place to go to understand, not to understand, but you can choose. Do I want to go at the beginning where everything started happening, where everything is boring, the grind, the mistakes, all of the crap? Or do I go intermediate, which is in the middle, when I learned a lot, when I become somewhat successful, profitable? Or do you go at the very end where I'm finally successful, I post constant wins and a couple of losses, I break them down and all of that stuff. And I'm really, really excited for the day when that's going to happen. And yeah, hopefully you guys are going to stick around and we can start a small community and make things happen. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you want to teach me anything, maybe you want to add something to my analysis, please let me know as well. Would be absolutely appreciated. So thank you again, and I'll let you go this time. Peace.